Hey, this is Kate from dailytarotgirl.com, and this is your weekly tarot card reading. And that was my girl Merlina. Someone from the last video said they wanted to see more of my cats in this video. So I got set up right where my cat was sleeping, but as soon as I started to get my camera set up, she started to move around. Okay, so I'm gonna draw 3 cards. My intention for this reading is to get an overview of the week ahead and get some kind of fresh ideas, inspiration, and all that good stuff for the week ahead. So the deck that I'm using is the Crystal Visions Tarot. And I'm just gonna organize my cards a bit better here. Okay, so yeah, let's dive in. Let's get started. So the first card represents Monday and Tuesday of the upcoming week. And here we have Temperance. All right, my card holder kind of cuts off the the title of the card. But okay, so we have Temperance. So we're starting off with a really powerful Major Arcana card. Temperance is telling us to slow down this week and really get a sense of balance. And what I'm getting from this card is that some of us are so out of balance that we aren't even really sure what balance is. Like if you're unbalanced and then you try to, like if you're really out of balance, sometimes your idea of balance is also kind of imbalanced. I don't know if that makes any sense. So in order to really truly create the kind of balance in your life that's going to be sustainable and that's going to bring you nourishment and energy, you need to first slow down. So the message I'm getting from this card for the beginning of the week is slow down this week. What can you do to slow down? How can you do less this week? What kinds of activities or things can you maybe just put to the side for now? Like how can you move through this week by doing less? Temperance is, like I said, this is all about balance, and some of the symbols on this card are really interesting. So in one cup that she's holding, the cup in her right hand is fire, the cup in her left hand is water, and coming out of those 2 cups, there's a rainbow, and she has one toe dipped in the water and one toe that's not in the water. And I see this as a really interesting symbol, as having kind of one foot on solid ground. Part of you is in the here and now, part of you is grounded, part of you is realistic and stable, but then there's another part of you that is willing to dip your toe into the world of spirit and, explore kind of those mystical worlds. So I see this card as being kind of the balance between being in the physical, being grounded, connected to the earth, but then also being able to explore the astral realms, being able to remember your dreams and explore your intuition and tuning into like the energetic, spiritual side of things. Okay, let's look at the second card. This is for the middle of the week, so Wednesday, Thursday-ish. And we have 5 of Swords. 5 of Swords is one of those cards that I have always struggled with. This is one of those cards. 5 of Swords, 7 of Swords, and Justice for the longest time were the 3 nemesis cards that I always was like, whenever I got them, because I didn't know how to read them. I've since figured out how to read 7 of Swords pretty good, and also Justice. So 5 of Swords remains the one card that I tend to struggle with a lot. Okay, so middle of the week. Here what we're seeing in this card is some sort of a betrayal. It seems that way. This woman is stabbed in the back, and this guy is kind of strutting off into the sunset with 3 swords. He's holding 3 swords. So it seems as though there is this either a betrayal or a disappointment. That's what I'm getting from this card. I don't think that that's necessarily what's going to happen midweek. I think that midweek is a time to face those things in your life that feel like a betrayal. So this is a time to get in touch with the part of you that feels wounded, maybe the part of you that feels like a victim, the part of you that feels like you've been done wrong by someone. And the reason for that, the reason to get in touch with that and to tap into that is that this part of you needs healing. And so what happens is if you're wounded or you perceive yourself to be a victim in something that happened in the past, if that isn't healed, then that wound gets like reactivated over and over again throughout your life. And you may forget what the original wound even was, but all kinds of things will kind of trigger it. And yeah, so when the Five of Swords shows up in a reading, it's an indication that there's something that needs to be healed. There's something that you're ready to face and you're ready to heal this week. And it won't be easy, but let's look at the next card because I feel like this last card is going to give us some insight into how we can heal that wound. So this last card is for the weekend. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we have the Chariot. So another major arcana card, which is interesting. It's interesting because Temperance, I said, do less, don't slow down. Chariot is like, do more, speed up. So I think that's interesting that these two cards are kind of bookending this reading. So with the Chariot is a card of moving forward. This weekend, there's the opportunity to make great strides forward in whatever it is that you're doing. Whatever your goals are, whatever you're working towards, whatever you're trying to make happen, the Chariot tells you that you have enough juice, you have enough focus and pizzazz to make that happen this weekend. Maybe not make it happen, but move towards it with more speed and more agility than in the past. So with the Chariot, we have this forward movement. It's important when the Chariot comes up, because the Chariot represents energy moving forward quite quickly. It's important that you are clear on where you want to go and why. So avoid busyness for busyness's sake. Don't just, there's people that like to keep themselves busy. They like to keep themselves occupied, and I understand why. But if there's no understanding as to why you're doing the things you do, it can be pointless or destructive even. So I think having a clear sense of why you want to get to where you want to go. Why do you want to do those things? Why do you want to create this or create that? Why do you want to manifest this? Like, have a real sense of why. Why is that important to you? That's kind of putting a little more heart and soul into your actions. Okay, so I'm going to read these three cards together. First two cards, her eyes are closed. So the Angel in Temperance has her eyes closed. The woman in the Five of Swords has her eyes closed. The Chariot, her eyes are wide open. So there's almost a need to go more inward at the beginning of the week and throughout the week. But then by the weekend, whatever that experience is like, where you go inward and contemplate, you're able to bring back certain truths, certain inspiration that help you, open your eyes and move forward with more focus and more skill towards the weekend. The weekend is more of a time of doing and action and goal setting and being intentional in the things that you do. If this is a busy weekend that you have planned, that's good. The Chariot is a busy card of moving forward. Okay, I'm going to look at all of these cards and see if there's anything else. It's interesting to me that the Angel in Temperance, there's wings on her back. And with the Chariot card, there's wings on the Chariot. And we could even see, I just noticed something really interesting. This guy walking in the background of the Five of Swords has angel wings. Interesting. And at first when I saw this card, I saw him as the villain, that he had stabbed her in the back and he's walking away. And that might be true. And it makes me think of this concept where sometimes when we need change to occur, we will manifest someone to come into our lives and kind of force that change to happen. And sometimes in the moment, it feels bad. Like I remember I had this job that I hated and I was going nowhere in it, but I couldn't quit because the pay was good. There was full benefits, unlimited massages. Like, that's crazy. Like, I can't believe I had that job. Anyway, I hated this job. It was a dead end job and I was going nowhere and it had been years. And all of a sudden, this new woman got hired and she was my coworker. We had to work very closely together. And we did not get along. She was a horrible person to work with. And she was so unbearable to work with that I ended up quitting my job. And if it wasn't for her, I might still be there. It was like she forced my hand. She forced me to get out of that job. And so I see now in retrospect, years later, I look back on that and I'm like, she was like an angel in disguise. I thought she was an enemy, but she wasn't. She was an angel in disguise. Like, thank God. Thank God she showed up at that point in my life and was like so unpleasant and unbearable to be around that I had to leave. So that's what I'm getting from the Five of Swords. So this is about reframing. If there's some wound that you've experienced, a betrayal or something where you felt hurt or disappointed, perhaps reframing that story and looking at it in a different way. Because when I reframed my story, I was like, oh, I have no reason to feel any kind of animosity towards this person in my past at all. And that really helped me release it and move forward. So this is about reframing your stories in order to heal your wounds. Okay, so I think I've covered everything. Feels like an exciting week, a lot of wings. And let me know if there's anything you're noticing. You can share your own. That was weird, hey? I think it's my heat pump kind of blew that card over. So feel free to share your own insights and ideas in the comment section. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Please check out my website, dailytarotgirl.com. I'll put the link below the video and feel free to like and subscribe to my channel. I post these videos every week along with a lot of other fun videos. So thank you so much for watching and I hope you have a wonderful week.